How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about The Deadly Spawn from 1983. I have with me the Synopsis Films Special Edition. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch this for a bit, so thank you, Synopsis, for putting out a special edition with lots of bonus features, a comic-style prequel in there, and yeah, a cool, good digitally mastered transfer. Thank you. I love when companies re-release old films and give them a good edition, so I always say that's great. Anyway, Deadly Spawn, 1983. You may also know this as The Aliens Deadly Spawn, or Return of the Aliens Deadly Spawn, because for a brief period of time this was given a title to make it seem like it was a sequel to Alien, the Ridley Scott movie. This was before the actual sequel to Alien came out, and they were kind of trying to push that. However, in later editions, that idea was abandoned. Which, yeah, this it's an interesting movie on its own, but not a good Alien sequel. But yeah, it's kind of funny, the unofficial kind of, it's something like you might see The Asylum do now, with the titles and whatnot. But I don't think that was a fault of anyone on this production, probably just some marketing guy. But anyway, directed by Douglas McKeown and stars Charles George Hildebrandt. I can't read my own writing. But anyway, this movie begins with a meteor from outer space crashing into Earth and something crawling from the meteor. It kills two campers and then heads into this nice little house and hides in the basement. From there, a husband and wife both wander into the basement and both fall victim to this mysterious thing that crawled out of the meteoroid. It grows bigger, it breathes, and it waits under the house, and then it's breakfast time. Well, for the humans, not the creature it already ate. But, you see, the husband and the wife weren't the only people in this house. They had a older son, a younger son, and at the moment, the wife's sister, I believe it is, and her husband, the aunt and uncle, are at the house as well. Now, they're not surprised that the husband and wife are gone because they think they just went out into town, just drove away. So they're not worried or looking for him, and the older brother's friends are about to come over anyway. So everything seems nice and normal, but deep in the basement, the deadly spawn is growing bigger. And maybe that's something I should say with this film. It's something a lot of people say. Like I said, it kills the husband and wife. It's growing in the basement. Cut to breakfast. Well, breakfast is kind of an abrupt tonal change. You see, there are lots of scenes in this movie that are slow and real world-esque, but very slow, like a family sitting down to eat breakfast. And there's another scene where the aunt goes to her mom, the grandma, and they prepare a vegetarian salad dish for all their friends to come over and eat and have a little dinner party. And they're very, very slow scenes. In fact, when the older brother's friend comes over, she has found one of the dead spawn, and they're looking at it, examining it, trying to figure out what it is, and there's long, autopsies looking at it and talking about science. Now, these scenes, when you get, say, the grandma's vegetarian dinner party, you're like, whoa, this is really slow, and it's hard to believe it's in the same movie as this giant deadly spawn. And I think if they did it nowadays, they would really try to emphasize that clash between them. But here it's just played off so straight, like, yeah, no, now the dinner scene's next. Yeah, they're gonna be chopping up some lettuce, and oh yeah, now we're gonna do a scene where the deadly spawn's killing a bunch of people. So it's this weird, way the scenes don't line up between each other, and it makes this movie have an odd and interesting tone. I wish they had, if they'd done anything, pushed the contrast and kind of made it seem ironic or funny, that the real world's going on, why there's also a monster who has just landed on Earth. But yeah, that is one thing people always talk about, is these slow scenes in here. But there are also fast scenes and crazy scenes and cool gore and cool creature effects. To talk a bit about the spawn itself, you get little wormy spawn, the little babies, and they grow bigger. They eat food and get big, and there's bigger ones, and in particular a very big one that can't even fit through a doorway, which I believe was a problem for the production people when they were making it. They're like, oh, dang, we can't get this through doors, we gotta cut it in half. But a really cool monster with big teeth. It's like a worm with big teeth, and its mouth opens up, and it's got, just rows and rows of them. And it's really cool for as low budget a movie this was, and yes, this is a very low budget movie. They were able to pull tons of special effects work. And while the older brother and his friends are cool, and you get to see them talk about, the creature and the science and stuff behind that, they're good, characters to follow, the real character is the younger brother. He's kind of a movie and special effects nerd. Tons of old posters for older horror movies, and he's trying to scare people with a mask and some special powder that makes a little explosion, and he's your geek character, but when everything gets thrown down, he's the character that can stop and analyze the situation, and he keeps a cool head, and he doesn't just scream and get killed. He will, freeze, look around, analyze the situation, and, maybe rig up some traps or something. He's a really cool character to follow, the practical, level-headed guy that's going to figure out what's going on. And yeah, that was a really fun part about this movie. But anyway, this is a good movie, but it does have the slow parts, and it's not necessarily gonna win over anyone who's not a creature feature geek, not a horror geek. But for those of you who like it, particularly those that like cool creature designs, gore, and special effects, there's some pretty cool stuff, some pretty cool deaths in the movie. Overall, if you are the people that want to see a cool, nasty-looking monster tear up some people, and you don't mind waiting through a few slower parts, there's going to be plenty in this movie that you like. Now, if this doesn't sound like it's your cup of tea, it probably won't win you over. It's not going to pull in a bunch of people that aren't into this stuff. But for the people that are into this, there's a lot to love in this movie. So yeah, not perfect, and there are some slower parts, but there's a lot to like, especially for the budget. They can get some really cool creatures, and it's great to see a cool movie like this. Great movie, great monster. So yeah, if this sounds like something you like, definitely check it out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and to everyone who's liked and subscribed, again, thank you. All y'all just watching or even liking and subscribing, you really help out the channel, so thank you. I'll be back again soon. I do about 95% horror on this channel, so I'll be back with some other crazy movie. Anyway, I'll see you guys again later. Have a good day.